What's up, everybody? Welcome to Tuck Rule Takes, episode 82, the drum roll, please. The Josh Boyce episode.
Oh, are you
Of
kidding
Tuck
me,
Rule
dog?
Takes.
No, not Josh
That was my
Boyce.
choice. That was my choice.
No,
Who do you
bad
guys have
choice.
for today's episode?
The greatest fat guy tight end of all time. It's
The
got to
better
be
choice.
Algie Crumpler.
The better choice. The
Algie
better choice.
Crumpler. That's not even who I had in mind.
Who'd you have,
Who'd you
Al?
have?
Daniel Graham.
That's who I was thinking. That's what I was
a good
thinking.
one.
But,
Fuck, yeah.
but
he actually contributed, yeah.
I think we can all agree that Josh Boyce was the correct pick. So episode 82,
Incorrect.
the Josh Boyce episode. I am Mike. I am here. Al is here. Liam is here. Who
Josh
else
Boyce
is here?
Still here?
And this is a Patriots podcast, but we are all fans of Boston sports. So I feel like I would be remiss if we didn't shout out the Celtics for finally putting down Philly.
Fake organization.
Great organization there. I did want to bring something up kind of serious. Liam, I saw that you got excited when I said that Boston won. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you could make it today. I'm also happy you are sitting down too. Al and I just wanted to kind of clear the air and really have a talk with you. I think, Al, would you say it's a long time coming? I would say maybe.
I would say since I put you two together.
What's this all about here?
I would say,
yeah.
We'll get there. I would say, Mike, since I put you two together to start this podcast, I think it's just been since episode 1, even before I was a co-host here. I think it was just, from the first moment on, it's come to a boiling point now, and we need to address it.
Yeah, and Liam, I don't want to cut you off. I don't want to silence you. I want you to feel heard in this conversation. So we'll kind of keep it very open, very laid back. There's just an issue because I know that we joke here and there. Liam likes the Eagles. Liam's a Philly fan. Liam likes the Sixers and all that. And I feel like I'm getting emotional. I feel like we've reached a boiling point here. The Celtics playing the Sixers. I don't think we have to bring it up. We do have receipts in the group chat to back this up, but it just
a boiling
feels
point.
like
I don't have a problem. What
feels
is this all
like
about?
you are no, definitely not. It's not a.
We're getting there. It's just patience. It's
not a problem, because obviously this is a safe place. You're definitely very welcome here, but it seems like you happen to like Philly and the two teams in particular, the Eagles, which you repeatedly bring up that Super Bowl that we will not talk about, and then obviously the Sixers kind of seemed like you were rooting for the Sixers against the Celtics, something like that. And I don't know. And Al, I'm going to let you talk, but I do also just, Philly, New York is Boston's number one rival, but yeah. Philly, you got,
I don't support New York. I just got a little bit of Philadelphia here and there.
You just
it's
took
New York.
the second worst, and you got the
I'd be
Flyers
really off the
hockey.
rails if it was a New York thing, but
I'm sorry, Al. Al, you get what you need to say out. Liam, love you, buddy. Just kind of, wanted to
attacked here.
Start this. No, definitely not. And that's why I want you to lean back in the chair. We're all cool. If you have a drink, have a drink. That's definitely not what this is about. But yeah, Al, I don't know if you have anything to say. It's just, I feel like we just need to bring it up. It's just time,
We do. Liam, buddy, Al, amigo. You would say I'm the logical one on this show, right?
Easily.
So you'll listen to my logic here, right?
I'll try.
Will you at least just listen? Just listen to it. You don't have to agree.
That's all we're asking.
Just listen. We are a New England Patriots podcast. Mm-hmm. We talk about the Patriots, assuming that we all love the Patriots as our number one team. You can like other teams. Don't get me wrong. I like some other teams. When I was younger, when I was a wee little lad in MLB baseball, I loved the Cubs. I loved the Cardinals. I loved other teams. I still like some other teams. There are some teams in the NBA I like. Believe it or not, for a while in the Amari Stoudemire years, I liked the Knicks. Not as much as the Celtics, but I did enjoy me some Knicks when I wasn't rooting for the Celtics.
Is this an intervention?
I don't want to use that word. That's a very polarizing word. This is just an open dialogue. an open conversation.
That's all it is. It's very strong. It's a strong word, but
strong like you, buddy. Strong like you, my friend. Strong like you.
You are a strong. You're a strong young man. You're very, very strong.
I don't want you to think we're attacking your physical character.
We're not.
It's more just a mental thing.
Strong like bull, you know.
I've definitely seen you. You're a strong specimen. You're very, very
strapping. Some would
very
say.
big.
With great calves come great responsibility.
That's a good line right there. That should be a quotable line right there. Quote that on the Tuck Rule Takes Twitter.
There you go.
Again, the reason Mike and I wanted to talk to you is because we just want to make sure that you are on the same page as us in the sense that your true roots, your diehard roots, first and foremost, come for, first of all, on this podcast, the New England Patriots. And secondly, off topic with other sports, you know, that the Boston teams do truly come number one for you. Because I have some receipts here that would tell me otherwise. Let's see. On Sunday at 8:13 p.m., you put, and I quote, Jimmy Jordan is going to effing, a word that rhymes with tape, the Celtics. Now,
I think I remember saying that.
Now I understand that the NBA playoffs are going along. I understand that there are some matchups that you just can't pick the home team. You got to be realistic, and I totally understand that. Again, logical guy here. I'm realistic as they come. But with some of these just rash and really strong statements coming from you, it has Mike and I worried.
Yeah.
It really does. And to some of the extremes,
that's where it comes from. A place of worry, not a place of anger.
I think there was another one out there. Fear the Beard, talking about James Harden against a Celtics team that really, for a lot of the series, had him in check. He did have a couple good games, but
he had a lot of really good games, mostly really good games.
That's debatable looking at the stats and the lines.
Always had over 10 assists.
That's your Philly bias. That's your Philly bias.
Let's see. Doesn't matter if basketball Jesus is averaging 40. It's talking about Jimmy Butler. That's a direct quote.
Well,
it's the Heat. They're the perfect organization besides San Antonio. They're not perfect. Not this year, at least.
They're pretty fucking good. They're in the conference finals. That never really.
Mike, also, I have a question for you. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but weren't Liam and I going back and forth about a certain Miami player's points per game? And wasn't I proven correct?
Yeah, you were. My memory of last year is
you were, and I believe Liam did say in there, he said, "Oh, you know, that was on me," or he somewhat did concede that you were correct, because Al, as you know, you are the I don't want to say the smartest, but probably the more knowledgeable, commonsensical one. So you know, we do rely on you.
Thank you, because I don't know if sensical is a word, but that's okay. I'm proud of you for trying.
I think it is. I think sensical is a word, but
it could be.
I mean, is it a word? Is it not? Am I
that's
smarter
not what's
because
important.
I make
that's
up
not
words?
What's important here. That's not.
I also think I was mixing up Bam's bubble playoffs against the Celtics with.
All right. So I'm going to ask you. So Mike, I'm just going to go ahead and ask him point blank 2 questions.
I think it's okay. I think we've reached that point, and then obviously we'll move on. We'll move on.
I think it's
with
time.
Liam.
Now listen. I'm just going to say this, Liam, and I just want this to set the table here. On my Red Sox podcast, Fenway Franks and Tanks, with a former member, actually 2 former members of Couch Guy Sports.
Plug.
Yes, shameless plug. With 2 former members of Couch Guy Sports. One of them admitted on a baseball podcast that they liked lacrosse more than baseball. I'm not going to say who. I'm not going to shout out his name, but he was very honest with us, and I respected him for that. So now, when I ask you these 2 questions, I need 100% honesty. That's all I'm asking for. Is that fair? Okay. First question. Who do you like more in the NBA? Boston Celtics or the Philadelphia 76ers?
Keep in mind, you do also, last time I checked, there's a podcast, since we're talking about plugs, a podcast called The Rafters that I believe you do host too, which I think The Rafters, that is a Celtics podcast. I just throwing that out there. It doesn't matter. Does not. I don't know context. I don't know. I'm sorry. Proceed. sir. My friend, proceed. My strong friend.
I want to say the Celtics, but sometimes I just get lost. I have a bad day. I find myself at the end of the day looking for the Sixers and needing the Sixers to make me feel better about myself.
Oh boy.
I don't know. It goes back and forth, but I always find myself coming back to the Sixers.
So be honest, are you saying the Philadelphia 76ers are your more favorite team than the Boston
I don't have a
Celtics?
definitive answer for you. It's not one or the other. I use both in tandem.
Okay. Okay, so that's all the answer we need. That's all the answer we need. Okay.
Spoke volumes.
Yes, speaks volumes. All right. The last question, and then we will move on. Who is your favorite NFL team? The New England Patriots or the Philadelphia Eagles? And you have to choose one.
Yeah, I know. This one, there's no in between. And the answer is actually really clear. Yeah. It's the Pats, obviously. Fuck it, it's a Patriots podcast, baby.
I thought
Let's get this episode going.
He's back.
You pulled us back in. You pulled us back in, buddy.
Now
there we go.
Pats show.
All right,
there we go. That was going to be bad if you said
follow
the
up.
Oh, friend.
Follow up. What percentage would you give like your Patriots compared to the Eagles? Like if you had to say the Patriots are my favorite team, this much percent as compared to this much percent for the Eagles.
56-44.
Ooh, so Mike, that's interesting.
Fucking Christ.
So that's interesting. So it's not
actually after the Super Bowl, maybe 60-40. The Super Bowl was heartbreaking.
I mean, that's a little better. Yeah, that's
even
a little
so.
better. We're out of the 50s, but we're in the 60s.
Yeah,
okay.
We can settle it as 60-40, but it was close.
60-40 is fine. I mean, that's good how it is in the NFL. I guess in the NBA, like I think the Celtics are just like the dirty mistress that you don't like to, it's like, I think if we're
the
going to
Celtics piss me off too much. I think
it's like,
I say all that Jimmy
it
Jordan
is.
stuff and the Sixers stuff because the Celtics really aren't that fucking good. Like I'm going to level with you.
Maybe that's what it is. You are married to the you got married to the Celtics years ago,
and
it's just like you're tired with him. You see the flashy new beard walking down the street. That's James Harden. Or you see that tall drink of water, Joel Embiid, and you're like, you know what? Let me go take a sip over there. And it's like, yeah, sure, you might still end up back at home, which is the Celtics. But I think deep down, there's that fire growing inside you for the Sixers, which, for now, obviously this isn't a Celtics podcast, so your allegiances there can be where they want. Definitely alarming, the 60-40 number, but I am, especially since the Patriots play the Eagles this year, this season. But I just, it was just something, we poke fun here at Tuck Rule Takes, but there's just, sometimes you do have to, you gotta see what's going on, so I do appreciate that.
Serious conversations sometimes need to be had, and those can be the toughest, but
hey,
I like to think of us as
I appreciate you guys coming to me when you think I have a problem.
Yes. Yeah. I think of us, Mike and Liam, I think of us as a brotherhood. I think we're three brothers that just love to talk Patriots and
absolutely
deeply care for each other especially when one's fandom comes into question, or when you try to pull a fast one on another co-host and you forget that the recording button is going on. But it's okay. We're here. We're here for each other. And it's good. This is a good dynamic. I like.
Is it bad when you said that? I had to look to see if we were recording.
That is probably not the smartest thing that you could have done.
I did too. I was like, shit, I'm pretty sure we hit record.
Now that would have been all time if that little red button wasn't recording. Then I would have said, "You two are the biggest idiots I've ever met." But
that would have been on.
I would have hung up for the evening.
I probably would have left and never came back. Probably
understandable.
Speaking of someone that left and never came back, hard transition here. Because Liam, I want to put the intervention. If you want to use that word, your word, not mine. We'll put that behind us. Just like Tom Brady has put New England behind us. Did you guys happen to see who was at the Celtics game? This is Patriots related. Matthew Slater there, current Patriots,
and Juwan Bentley.
Legend. Juwan Bentley was there.
Jonathan Jones.
Player. Jonathan Jones was there. Big time player. Robert Kraft, the big old swinging balls dick himself.
Seems like a lot of players that want to be in Boston.
Julian Edelman was there.
Not only that,
he was.
Not only that, right? I'm not even going to say a player. You ready for this? Dave Portnoy who, by the way, I know we all don't like Barstool. Hold on.
Oh, I do.
Hold
Love
on.
Barstool.
Listen, Liam. Just listen. We
Especially
all don't love
Dave Portnoy.
We all don't love Barstool, and a lot of us hate Dave Portnoy. But he still comes back to root for his hometown team, even though he's made business in New York, he's living in Florida, all this stuff. He still comes back and roots for the Celtics.
Yes.
Who cares? Dude's a
So,
weirdo.
And all
I'd rather him
Boston
not
sports
be
teams
here.
in their championships.
So
It's like saying Jeffrey Epstein roots for the Knicks. Like, dude's a fucking shithead. Who cares?
same but different. So Portnoy comes back. Julian
Not
Edelman.
really. It's both like underage girls.
I want to bring up Julian Edelman because Julian Edelman is retired, correct? Yes.
Yes.
And he pretty much not Tom Brady status. Nobody will ever get there, but I'll put him on the tier underneath, right? You know, he goes up there with your Teddy Bruschi's, your
above
Richard Seymour,
Welker and
players like that.
Moss, a little less than
he is on
Bruschi,
that
Brady.
level, right? So what is stopping someone like Tom Brady? Doesn't have a wife now, so he doesn't have to ask permission. What is stopping someone like Tom Brady from showing up to a Celtics game? You can't say it's because he's retired. There's retired players showing up all the time. You can't say it's because he's busy.
It's because of money.
Can't-
He
yeah,
charges
you
like
can't say it's 'cause of
$70
money.
for a t-shirt.
Can't say because
All
it's busy. I wanted to look up before we recorded the last Boston game that Tom Brady was at. I think it might have been a Red Sox game back in 2013, maybe, I want to say, because I had a chance to go to the game. I let my mom go and she took a picture with Tom Brady because they were like up in a box or whatever, and Brady was like passing by or something like that. But other than that, Tom Brady does not show up to these things. And I hate to bring up Tom Brady again, but guess what, guys? Kind of a light week for Patriots talk. So we're back on the Brady train because that gets the juices flowing. Tom Brady, it just makes me think of him coming back and doing this whole thing week one. Makes me feel even more icky about it because it's like it's not. And Al, you said give him a chance. I mean, game 7 against Philly, that's a pretty good chance if you wanted to come back. You can kind of tie it in. You're going to week 1 against Philly. Why not show up to game 7? You couldn't bother to show up, to the Bruins playoffs, and God forbid, God knows they needed you. I mean, they blew. Well, we don't need to talk about the Bruins. That's the worst.
Yeah.
But so it's just, two questions for you guys. Did you guys even think about that when they were showing the Patriots players there? And the second question, is it bad that was my first thought, where I was like, look at this shit. Why can't Brady do this? He doesn't love you. He doesn't love you.
I do think it's bad that was the first thing you thought. Sorry, Al, I'll be super quick. I do think it's bad,
thank you.
But you're just very spiteful. So, like, I guess that doesn't
Very.
surprise me. Have either of you guys seen Mad Men?
No,
I don't
I'm
think so.
sorry.
Great
I'm
show.
sorry.
All right, quick reference. Anyway, some dude walks into an elevator and the big boss is there, and this employee hates the big boss. So he talks about how good of a job he does for the big boss, and the big boss doesn't appreciate him. And the employee goes, "I really feel bad for you." And the big boss looks at him and goes, "I don't think about you at all," and walks out of the elevator. And that's how I feel about Tom Brady. I looked at Edelman, Juwan Bentley, JJ, everyone else who was at the game. Didn't think about Tom Brady at all. You know why? Because he hasn't been to a game since 2013. I will play devil's advocate. Maybe he just doesn't like going to games because he was part of the Patriots for another, 5 years after that. But I didn't think about him because fuck him. Al, take off.
Yeah. So no and yes. No, I wasn't thinking about that at all. I just love the fact that there is camaraderie and community amongst all the Boston sports athletes that do want to be there. And yes, I do think that it's very troublesome that's the first thing that you think of, Mike. In fact, I wasn't going to do this, but Liam, I think it's time.
Intervention time?
I think it's intervention time with Mike. Mike,
buddy,
buddy.
I will not be as calm as Liam.
Al,
Mike,
take a seat.
Take a seat?
Yeah. We're going to sit with Mike. Let's all hold hands here. This is a safe space for everyone, Mike.
We're going to sing
We just want to talk to you. Yes, we will. Sit down on the beanbag chair. We wrapped everything in plastic.
Okay, so Mike, here's the deal. Similar to Liam, like I said, you guys agreed. I am the logical one. I will just throw a couple things out there. I just want you to listen. And then if you want to yell and scream right after.
We don't need a whole Tom Brady intervention. I fucking hate the guy too. But it is weird.
I want to yell and scream right now, Al.
You're just
and
very
that's
spiteful.
fine. And listen, I will give you your opportunity to yell and scream. I just need like a minute. And then after that, do whatever you got to do. Tom Brady is no longer around, and I know you know that. Tom Brady doesn't live in New England anymore, and I know you know that. Just appreciate the 6 Super Bowls and the happiness that he brought. Just enjoy the Patriots team that we have and the players that actually want to come to the games, like Julian Edelman, like Matthew Slater, like Devin McCourty, like everybody else. And just be done with any thoughts of Tom Brady. It's going to give you a lot less stress. You'll be happy. You will enjoy that team that's across your chest right now that says Patriots on it, and on your hat that says Patriots on it, which that is actually a nice hat, by the way. Genuinely, I do like that hat.
Thank you. Thank you. I have so many Patriots hats. I forget how many I have.
It's a good hat. Good hat, good shirt combo.
Yeah, it's pretty basic.
Just let it go, Michael, friend.
Yeah, we're
go,
Mac Jones people now. Why don't you look toward the future? We are. We're not Bailey Zappi people. We're not caught up into that mess. We have a new figurehead, and it's Mac 10, and that is our franchise. Less Super Bowls, yes, but what did Dr. Seuss say? Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened.
Handshake, Liam. Handshake. Nice job.
And
nice job.
Mike, bring it in. Come on, we're all friends here.
Fucking shit.
That kind of hurt my heart.
That was an angry handshake.
You know what? I got my Tom Brady stuff out last week, and Al, you said, Liam, you're quoting Dr. Seuss. Smile because it happened. Yep. Don't cry because it's over. All that stuff. Al, you said put it in the past. Do you want to know why it's so fucking hard to put it in the past?
Also, why would he go to this game? Like, I get it. It's game 7, but he's not in Boston.
And that's just it. See, so
if there's an important sporting event around the time when he's coming to celebrate his, enshrinement in Foxborough, where everyone's going to bow down and slit their wrists and sign their name in blood to Tom Brady, if he doesn't go to an important game around that time, then I'd understand. But I don't even know what fucking sport we'll be playing at that time. Red Sox, and that's it.
So I get that.
And the Red Sox suck, so there won't be any important games. He's probably not going to go to a game. You know why? Because he sucks.
He won't because he does not. And I want to move on with all in me. I thought when he retired the first time, I was like, thank the football gods. I don't have to hear his name. I don't have to see his stupid number 12 jersey. I don't need to see it on the field. I want to see it on Sundays. I'm good. And then he came back like the goddamn boogeyman. And then he played a whole nother season. All I have to do, I'm trying to listen to the radio. I'm trying to watch TV. I am walking by a TV at the gym, and guess whose fucking face is on there?
Yeah.
Tom Brady. Is he gonna retire after this year?
It's about selective intake. In my eyes, Tom Brady retired when he left the Patriots, and I completely ignore all those Bucs years. That Super Bowl fixed. The other year, he lost. Cooper Kupp skull-fucked that team. And then the year after that, he was awful. So, in my eyes, the Buccaneers' second Super Bowl never existed.
You're right.
I like the football player that was on the Patriots, the dude who suited up on Sundays, and when he left that stadium, fuck him, because he's not a good person.
Yes, and that is what I appreciate. Al, you said appreciate everything that he did. I do. I appreciate it. Tom Brady, greatest quarterback of all time. If you want to say greatest
carried by James White toward the end, whatever. That's all right.
Yeah, I mean James White carried everybody.
It's Brady.
Greatest.
It is what it is.
Greatest player of all time. 6 Super Bowls, love it. Some of the greatest sport in just life memories.
I mean, he finished his career with 6 Super Bowls. That's fucking incredible.
Which is awesome. But the thing is, I keep trying to move on, and he comes back from retirement. Then he retires. Then his name goes across sports. Now it's on pop culture things I'm listening to because of him and Giselle.
It's all going to come to an end. He can only do this for so long. After week 1, you won't hear about him until he gets enshrined into the Patriots Hall of Fame and then the Hall of Fame. And then it'll be over.
I want to be done with it so bad. He is like I say, he is the boogeyman. Every time I'll check the closet, he's not there. I lay back in the bed and the closet door is open because guess what? He fucking came back. And
it's like
we'll see after week 1.
How do you feel
Hold on. It's like that Brian Scalabrine interview when they asked him how it felt not playing a single second in the finals, and he goes, in 10 years, I'll tell my kids I played 5 minutes. In 20 years, I'll tell them I got 20 minutes a game. 30 years, I'll tell them I started. In 50 years, I'll tell them I won Finals MVP. That's how it's going to be. In 10 years, you'll only remember Tom Brady's Patriots career. In 20 years, you'll only talk about the Super Bowls that he won. You won't even remember the seasons that he didn't win the Super Bowl. In 50 years, you're only going to remember, the Seahawks Super Bowl, the Falcons Super Bowl, and, all the ones where Tom Brady balled out.
I hope so. I hope that's what it is. I want to be done with him. I want to be rid of him. I want to crucify my memories of him leaving New England. But I just, everywhere I look now, all of a sudden I'm seeing he might go try to fuck Kim Kardashian. Like, you guys see those?
I was just about to ask, how do you feel about those rumors?
Oh, buddy, it's on my list. I got it on my list of things. I put it on there. Brady fuck Kim. That's what I wrote on there. I don't care. This is what I'm talking about. I try to be rid of him. And I'm not going to mute Tom Brady words because there's some things you want it, whatever. So I'm not going to do that. But it's just like I see come across the newsfeed. Kim Kardashian is moving into the same neighborhood as Tom Brady. Why do we care? Then all of a sudden, people who are friends with them, they're a little chummy, they're little friends. You know what? I hope that him and Kim Kardashian get together. I hope they do. Because the shitstorm that will put, and guess what? That will give me things to bitch about, and I love complaining. That will give me things to bitch about and rant about for years to come. Kanye's going to come out with a diss record about him. It's going to be amazing. I cannot wait. I hope that happens. And then he's going to be at all these events. Giselle's going to be there too, probably with her young strapping boyfriend. It might even be Liam. I don't know who she's going to be with. I
don't think she's hot enough.
That Kim Kardashian stuff just made me roll my eyes, pound my fist, and cry because I just want to be done with him so bad. But he just keeps coming back.
It hurts.
He keeps coming back. But yeah, Alice, as you were going to bring it up, like Kim Kardashian and Tom Brady, why? Like that just sounds like a Mad Lib. Like if you're just like filling shit out, you're just like, hey, name two of the most.
It's a media relationship. They won't actually. It'll be like the Pete Davidson thing. It's just for attention.
Oh my goodness, that is just something where like I mean. Someone's got to reach out to him. Both of them. Neither one of them need to get, and we are not a pop culture podcast, but neither one of them need to get with each other because they don't need to cross streams whatsoever. You think they pee together? That. Huh?
You think they pee together?
I don't know, man. Tom Brady, you see, Tom Brady's fallen off the deep end. He might, and I'm not saying that is not a criticism that to be with Kim Kardashian, you have to fall off the deep end. I'm saying that you have no idea what he'll do now, so he might. You never know. I mean, and honestly, I think that Kim Kardashian can do better than some old retired divorcee with like 3 kids.
Yeah. Is it like that? You were talking about peeing together. Is it like that episode of Norbit? Have you guys ever seen the movie Norbit, the Eddie Murphy movie?
Yes.
Where they're
I'm flying.
Yeah, literally going to the bathroom together. Is that what we're doing here?
I mean, like, I'm certainly not going to stand on a pedestal and say that I haven't crossed streams with the boys on a drunk night. The bathroom's loaded at a party. 2 dudes go in, cross streams. You got to do what you got to do. You're trying to get back to the action.
The real rush is when you unwillingly cross streams with someone. Then you shock them.
Yeah.
Then they're like, hey, buddy, you just find a drunkard pissing against a tree. You're drunk, he's drunk. You're like, hey, are we friends?
You guys
kind of like when all the girls meet up in the bathroom. It's like all the guys go meet next to the pissing tree.
Yeah, got to do what you got to do.
So yeah, I don't know. That's that too much talk on Tom Brady. I appreciate
let's talk
about
football.
Your guys try with that intervention there, but listen, me and Tom Brady, we are tied at the heartstrings until he officially goes away. So, and then like you said, 10 years from now, it'll all be sunshines and rainbows, and I'll be like, oh,
well, by then you'll be like 70 years old and have dementia, so that'll help.
True. I'm 31. I am 31.
31, 61. It's all
bad knees, a shitty elbow, headaches all the time. My neck hurts. I can't lay a certain way.
Yep. Soon you'll be really confused all the time. Your poor wife will have to tell you where everything is and where you are.
She already does.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So you want to talk football? There's not too much going on. But I did kind of want to ask you guys. So I have the list of the Patriots, their rookie class here. And I saw this come across Twitter in between the Tom Brady hooking up with Kim Kardashian news, where people were talking about what rookies you think are shoo-ins to make the roster, who might be on the bubble, and then a couple who you think definitely will not make it. So I figured just to kind of fill time here, just to kind of, and if we have anything else to talk about, obviously we'll do that, but figure we'll just throw that out there. So I have the list, no homework for this. Just kind of figured we just have a little discussion about it. So, I mean, I'll kind of go through, and again, like 3 different categories. You got ones that you think are definitely going to make it, ones that'll be on the bubble, and then ones that you, if you had to bet, since you two are betting men, who you would say are not going to make the roster. So, I mean, we'll just kind of go right over the first one. I think that's easy. Christian Gonzalez. I think he makes the roster. I think it's,
yeah.
I think it. Did you guys see the pictures of him working out? I don't know why.
No.
Just like seeing them, because I guess like the rookie showed up, and just seeing him, I was like, my God, this dude looks like more ripped, more jacked than some of like the actual NFL players you see there. And he's just coming out of college.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see it. I didn't see any of these. I mean, obviously he's got like the perfect corner frame.
Yeah,
anyway.
That's what he looks like.
He's not short. Crazy. He's got great speed. He's got everything you need. But no, I didn't see the workouts and whatnot. He's looking shredded.
Looks kind of lanky, but not too lanky. So he just looks like a big corner. They asked Jonathan Jones too, because they were like, are you going to play inside, outside? What's going to happen? He doesn't give a shit. He's like, I'm just happy to play football, basically. So
yeah,
I think it's.
Do we think Gonzalez starts week 1, corner 1?
Al, you think
do they just throw him in? Is he the go-to?
Week 1, I think. You know what? I'm going to say yes.
Yeah,
I think he does start. I think what they can and should do is they should have Marcus Jones focus on the special teams game and the punt return and the kick return game. Sprinkle him in a little bit on offense, and then put him in defensive situations in emergencies.
Because you'll still emergencies.
Well, think about it. You'll still have Jack Jones. You'll still have Jonathan Jones. And you'll still have Christian Gonzalez.
He was great on defense, like a 69-yard pick six, nice on
Joe Burrow. Yes, he had.
Come on,
he had some good plays, but put it this way: a lot of the times, teams are going to find ways to win that matchup. You put a 6'1", 6'2" receiver on him. I mean, that's a matchup that you're probably going to win.
Yeah, so play him as a nickel corner. Like it doesn't matter. Good. You can always move it around. Bill plays to defensive players' strengths, and he hides their weaknesses. He doesn't expect. He's not expecting Marcus Jones to go out there and play like he's 6'4". He knows he's not Brandon Browner. He's like, don't press him at the line, beat him with your speed. I absolutely want Marcus Jones on the field as much as possible. Like, not so much on offense. Cool if you want to sprinkle him in for a couple plays like we did against the Bills. But I don't want it to be like the Cardinals game where he's in there for like 40% of our offensive snaps. That was fucking ridiculous. And he didn't do anything because they knew every time he was in there, the speedster's getting the ball.
So
on defense, I need him.
So put him in for like 50 to 60% of the defensive snaps. That way he's still fresh for the other
70. Yeah. I mean, like realistically, like you can put Devin Hester, say he's a rookie last year and he's just getting in. He's not going to have as many punt returns in his career if it started last year as he would when it happened. Punt returns just don't happen as much anymore. Teams have less of a focus on it, and it's just a lot harder. There are better athletes than there were before, and I don't exactly know why. There are not as many punt returns and kick returns as there used to be. We used to see Devin McCourty take him to the house every so often. LeGarrette Blount had a fucking kick return for a touchdown.
Yes, he did.
You don't see that anymore. It's there's probably like 2 all season, if that. And of course, the fucking Bills did it twice against us. But that's an outlier. That shit rarely happens.
I think that's the crux with Marcus Jones. That's the thing. Because like you see, like Liam, you said, you see the skill on defense, even though he's not that big, he's not that tall, but still he's fast. He can keep up with them. He can play the ball correctly. So he can cover the guys that are a little bit bigger. But then you see how good and explosive he is as a returner, kick returner, punt returner, whatever it is. And then you see how good he is on offense when he can get the ball. In the few times, because Liam, I'm with you, and I think we talked about it last year too.
Yeah.
Like where it's like you don't want him out there all the time. So it's like, what do you what do you do with him? Like the split, I don't think there's a
How do
set,
you
like
manage
he'll
it?
play 10 plays, 20 play, whatever, but it's like, you don't want him to get, because he is a weapon as a returner. I think that is where if you're going to say, what does he do the most, where he's like the biggest weapon, it's a returner. You don't want him to get tired out playing defense and not be able to be as electric as a returner, but then vice versa.
Yes.
He's a corner. So you still want him to play defense, but it's like, you don't want his defense to make him invaluable or less effective as a returner, or even like a gadget guy. So it's
you don't want to play him less on defense, because you hope he'll have more energy for punt returns, which happen, let's say 5% of the time you get a punt return. It's way less than that, I would imagine. But you're going to not play him on defense in hopes that he makes almost a miracle play now.
Mm-hmm. Well,
it
now
just seems nonsensical to me.
What's his name? Fuck is his name? Demario Douglas. I believe that's his name, right? I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
Demario Douglas is a returner. So I think maybe they can spell Jones a little bit with him if he's playing defense a little bit more, or if however Bill O'Brien and Bill Bell, however they want to do it. I think that Demario Douglas is a good person to kind of switch around with him. So
there are situations in return games that you're going to want Marcus Jones, and you're going to want him to be fully energized. Like, do you remember Antonio Cromartie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
one of my favorite corners ever.
38 kids.
Yeah, 100%. Can't keep in his pants. I love that as well. The dude is tenacious on and off the field, and that's an incredible trait. But he wouldn't return kicks and punts every single down. They had Darren Sproles back there. They had other guys back there. But when it's, they're kicking a 65-yard field goal, they're like, put Antonio Cromartie back there. It's more than likely they're going to miss. And this dude takes it back 109 yards for the longest return ever and stuff like that. So when it's an extremely likely return scenario, put Marcus Jones back there. Every other time, throw DeMario back there, and I want Marcus Jones playing 70% of my defensive snaps and 10% of my offensive snaps.
Yeah, I like that. I like that mix. I haven't played defense predominantly, and then whatever you gotta do elsewhere. So but yeah, Christian Gonzalez, though, I think he's a lock to make it. At this point, we're talking about if he's going to be a starting corner or not. So I don't see that change anything. Keon White, second round pick. I'll go first, kind of simple. I think he makes the roster. I don't even think there's that much of a question about it. Kind of by everything that he says, or that has been, said about him. I think he makes it. How often does he play? Who knows? That's not what we're talking about. But I think he is, if not Christian Gonzalez, I'd say that Keon White is a lock to make the roster.
I agree. Lock to make the roster. If he doesn't produce this year, then he'll produce more in the 2024 season, which is fine. Give him time to develop, have him learn under a guy like Matthew Judon, and just be a beast in year 2 and get his feet wet in year 1.
And I don't want to be a pessimist here. Odds are at some point Matthew Judon's going to get hurt. He hasn't yet. The dude's made of steel, absolute Iron Man. He's given me no reason to believe he's going to get hurt. But the odds with every player, at some point, something stupid's going to happen. Somebody will roll over on his ankle. He'll do something, and he'll miss a couple games. And then, you mix him in. He'll get some more time there and whatnot. But either way, we rotate all our defensive linemen anyway. Lawrence Guy plays. Christian Barmore plays. Everyone fucking plays. We're like a 8-man deep defensive line.
Yeah. Yeah, no, which is great. I mean, especially you brought up Barmore. Injury history, obviously, we know with him. So, yeah, I think White would be a nice piece to, like, pair with him. So that'd be cool. Jake Andrews, center, 4th round pick. Nope. Skipped over our boy. Marte Mapu. I'm gonna say Marte Mapu.
Don't be bold here.
No, I'm not gonna be too bold. I'm gonna say I don't think he's a lock to make it.
That's what I'm saying. Of course he's a lock to make it.
I could see him, though. I mean, the linebacker room, not that the Patriots have a stacked linebacking room.
What, are they gonna practice squad him? I doubt it.
Maybe he gets injured early on, and I'm not gonna.
He's coming off an injury, but yeah, exactly. It's all hypothetical.
So it's like maybe he just loses time, a la Ronnie Perkins, my boy. Maybe he doesn't really gain the traction in the preseason. He's a healthy scratch here and there. And I full well admit that I am going against what everybody is thinking there, but I just think that everybody is so high on him. Where it's like, he's a hard hitter, whatever. Maybe just something he doesn't click. He gets a little bit too crazy hitting. I don't
think he's going to play a lot, but I think he certainly makes the team.
You think he makes it? I think he will be on the bubble. I think he'll be on the bubble to make it or not make it. if I had
Like,
to.
unfortunately, the weird thing is that we have so many people at his position that play like the linebacker safety mixture role, the whatever you want to call it, rover or whatever code word they use. We got Adrian Phillips, we got Kyle Duggar, we got all Jabril Peppers, we got all these people that do the same thing. But even still, they drafted him for a reason.
Peppers. I forgot
Fuck
he's
yeah.
back.
Badass number 5,
okay,
baby.
so that makes me think
how
even
can you
more.
forget? I broke the
On the
news on the
bubble.
podcast.
Yeah,
On the bubble.
I cried.
On the bubble. Yep, that's.
All
I
right.
think that just solidifies it. He to me is on the bubble.
All right, I'm gonna make this quick. I'm gonna go with Liam. I think he makes the roster. I think he's just a Bill Belichick guy, a guy that can do a lot of things, a guy that can kind of rotate into a couple different positions on defense and on special teams, which we know Belichick loves. But yeah, I think Mapu ends up on the roster.
Yeah,
just for that reason.
I think they just want to work. His coverage skills are not safety material. He does not have the technique to be a safety. He's more of a linebacker. He's not bad, but he's certainly not good in coverage. So they'll use him in situations where they will expect him to run help, and then eventually you like to think they'll develop him into being a better cover, rover, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
All right. Yeah,
I'm huge on him. I love him. I love him.
And me too. And again, like that's why the majority of these, obviously, like I like them. I want them to make it, but just kind of if I had to pick, just kind of looking at what I think might happen, that's just what I think. Jake Andrews, next guy, 4th round pick, center. I think he makes it. I think he is a lock to make it, especially with David Andrews getting a little bit up there. Injuries might come a little bit sooner
Died
for him.
last year.
I think he makes it. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I think he makes it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like we're all kind of on the same page with him.
I think he makes it, but I think he's a practice squad guy because they obviously have David Andrews. They love their backup depth with like James Ferenz and stuff like that. Like they just love their depth at offensive line. And I think this could be, again, a learning year for a guy like Jake Andrews to learn the system, learn the offense, learn under, no pun intended, another Andrews, and really understand this. So that way in 2024, if David Andrews, God forbid, he retires, then at least he'll know the offense and he'll know all the signal calls and all the blitzes and all the audibles and everything else. So, yeah, I'm going practice squad for Jake Andrews.
Practice squad for him. So to clarify, with my Mapu thing, I think he makes the practice squad. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. If he does make, like, that's when I say that they're on the bubble, whatever, I think it's really, are you going to be like on the main roster, or is it going to be like you're just a practice squad guy? So that's kind of, and then obviously
anyone before like the 4th round, like they're locked to make the roster. They just might be the practice squad.
I don't know. Right. I'll tell you one thing though, guy that's definitely making the roster. 4th round pick, Chad Ryland, kicker, 100% making it. I don't even think
they need a kicker. Like they need a kicker.
Yeah,
to me,
Bull Kira wasn't cutting it for me anymore.
Yeah. Next.
Yeah, he's back. Next 4th round pick. That's like the only round the Patriots picked in, apparently. City So, I don't think he makes it. I think he might get to the practice squad and then someone scoops him up. I don't think.
Yeah,
he makes it.
I'm gonna go practice squad too. I think just to have that extra reassurance at the line, because how many times did we see the Patriots struggle to just have a healthy offensive line last year? So I'm going with practice squad.
I'm on the fence with this one. Like, one, I don't know enough about him to really be sure about what his skill set can be. But for all offensive linemen, I kind of feel the same way. Yeah. We are just struck with injuries. So it's like something dumb's going to happen. I believe most of the offensive linemen we drafted are going to be on the roster because we'll probably need them. We run like 60% of the time. Somebody's going to get hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, especially with all like the 6 linemen, like the heavy sets they like to put out there. Yeah. So yeah, I could see that. Another lineman, Antonio Mafi. I think if he makes it, he's going to be a practice squad guy. I don't think he's going to be like a main roster stay. Again, I think kind of like you guys said, he's going to be, you stash him on the practice squad, which obviously is dangerous because another team can scoop him up. They're on your practice squad. But yeah, I think he is going to be a practice squad guy more than any other lineman that the Patriots drafted on this.
Despite what I just said, I think he's 100% making the roster. Like, I'm quite sure about him. That's the only one. Like Andrews, I could see it. Soy, I could see it.
So I'm gonna go the third option. I think he might get cut. I think he's one of the surprise cuts that you see as they trim down the roster. I just think they're going to have so much line depth that there might not be a place for them.
Not good line depth. If anything, we cut Calvin Anderson and Riley Reef. They're not very fucking good.
They're not
Calvin
going to get rid
Anderson
of either one
loves
of those
being
guys.
here, though, man.
He
Calvin
does.
Anderson loves it. That's a thing for me. Calvin Anderson might be my guy this year.
Yeah,
I like him. I mean, I don't even need to say this one because I think we're all going to feel the same way. I hope. 6th round pick, Kayshon Boutte.
give me
I
that
think
booty.
Not only is he making the roster, guys, I think he's
the franchise.
Similar to Christian Gonzalez. Does Boutte start? And I'm not saying the number one because obviously your number one is most likely going to be Juju. Liam, sorry. Or do you think Kayshon Boutte kind of plays that like Kendrick Bourne type where like he's only in certain times, or even the Tyquan Thornton type where he's only in certain time? I think that he is going to be closer to your Devontae Parker, where he's on the field a lot. I got high hopes for him. High hopes for this Boutte.
Listen, I don't want to burst your guy's bubble, but he has to make the team first.
Oh, he's making the team.
He has. You don't know that. He has character issues. Who knows? He might just.
He does not have character issues.
He likes to
really.
fuck.
Yeah.
No, I'm not even talking about that stuff. I'm just talking about.
I know what
like,
you're talking
on the
about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Supposedly he's not coachable, even though I think Troy Brown or was it Kevin Falk? One of those two said that he.
Kevin Falk, because he went
Kevin
to
Falk,
LSU.
came out and said, I don't know where that came from. But either way, it is out there. You're right.
Yeah, he's a fantastic leader. He came back to school because he was the leader in that locker room. Even when he had that down year where he wasn't really great, had like 500 yards, he was still the leader of that team. He just had problems with the coach.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a character issue in sight. Granted, I don't think he's going to start. I don't think he's going to play much at all. Like maybe
I think
mid to late in the season if there are injuries, but I don't think he's going to play much at all. Like
I think you guys are just
Tyquan
Thornton
Thornton barely played. I mean, he's got a nice booty, but fucking
see, thank you for proving my point.
Tyquan Thornton barely played, and he was.
Do you think he makes the roster, Al, or do you think he's not going to make it, or do you think he's on the bubble?
I think he's on the bubble.
You didn't like booty.
Oh no. Okay.
Listen.
I mean, honestly, though, I can't.
Are you more
because
of
what
man?
you said, because of the position that he plays, because of like you do hear that scuttlebutt about that, how he is, coachable, whatever. Could
what
see it
position
going
is
any other
booty
way.
in?
I just
position that booty in. This is going to be so much fun. I'm so excited for the season.
I can't wait. The closer we're getting, the more excited I'm getting about it. And then I start to think of who's going to be there week one, and then I get pissed off.
Yeah. I know. Right. Juju over him, it's fucking ridiculous.
I can't help it, guys. 6th round pick. So this one's interesting. Punter, Bryce Behringer. Is it Behringer or Behringer?
I think it's Behringer.
Behringer sounds like a little better. Yeah, like Derringer. So I am going to say he's on the bubble because punters, you never know. They may be good in school, good whatever. And the punter is a position where Belichick can find one to come in. Obviously it's not ideal to kind of like pick one up off the scrap heap, but I think that Behringer is going to be fighting for a spot. And I know that he's not really fighting with anyone at the moment, but I just, it's all it takes is a bad preseason and you're out. So you pretty much as a punter, you need to show up and show out the entire preseason. That's how I see it. But I think he's on the bubble. I do leaning toward him making it and being obviously the punter for this year. But I'm on the bubble with him. Even though I like him.
It's a smaller margin of error for punters.
He's got that punter look. He's going to make this team. He's going to be the Patriots punter in 2023.
You guys see? Let me see if I can. Can you guys see this punter? Look at him.
Yeah,
he looks like a punter.
That's Bryce Behringer right there. He looks like Bryce Behringer's. It's a fucking nightmare.
Behringer.
He looks like his accountant. He does not look like a football player. But no, I can't.
You should be telling me where to put my money in a mutual fund.
I can't. Maybe he can. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, on the bubble. I do hope he makes it. This guy, even though we just talked about him, Demario Douglas. I think he is going to be the one who actually, Al, you go. What'd you say? Cut?
Gone. See you later.
Liam.
I think he sticks around.
For no
reason, but I think he does. Like you
so.
Guys said, he just has multiple uses, and we're not very strong at receiver, and we could use a punt returner to relieve Marcus Jones. Just an inkling. I think he does.
I hope he does, but I have like the visions of him having a good preseason, maybe like the second preseason game, he has a big one, 2 touchdowns, a big screen he takes to the house. And he's like a final week cut or something, where it's like, oh my God, why would Belichick cut him? You saw, your wide receiver room, you got Juju, Parker, injuries, this and that. Why would you cut someone who showed so much promise? And like he goes to like Miami or Vegas. He'll go to Vegas. That's where he'll go.
We'll go to Vegas.
But
everyone else.
but yeah, I don't know. Again, I want him to make it because, like you said, for the reason, if only just to be a punt returner to make it so Marcus Jones doesn't always have to. But yeah, I just feel like he's going to be like one of the last cuts and it's going to piss a lot of people off. So I hope not, though.
Yeah, it's hard. I don't know. It's a tough spot there. It's completely a guess.
Yeah. 6th round pick, cornerback, Amir Speed. Great name. I don't think he even gets to the practice squad. I think he's just one of the ones where it's like, you know what, man, like, we took a flyer on you, you have some measurables, you're good, this and that, but I think it's just, it's not you, it's us. That's it.
Yeah.
Last one, Isaiah Bolden, from Jackson State. I think he makes it to the practice squad, and I think he ends up coming up when inevitably someone gets hurt or Jack Jones robs another Panda Express or something.
He learned under prime time, baby. Like
yes, putting board.
Oh, shut up.
See, I don't know. I got hopes for him. Yeah, I mean, it's just it'd be a good story. I'm a sucker for a story if you're gonna put it out there. But the
story
funny thing
isn't
about all
enough.
these.
This isn't The Blind Side. We're not looking for any Hollywood plot here. Fucker gets caught. That's how this story ends.
The funny thing about all this, we have no idea. No idea at all. Keon White could make the roster, completely suck, get cut at the end of the year. Like you never know. Like it's just these crazy.
But at very least, he'll make the roster for this year. Maybe he gets cut after, but he's making it this year.
Yeah,
you can make safe inferences from the 4th round below.
Yeah. I think that's kind of the cutoff because otherwise it's kind of a crapshoot. Well, we brought up the Raiders real quick. Unless you guys have anything to talk about, this is kind of the last thing I had to talk about. How many times does Josh McDaniels have to get a job and try to make it the Patriots or any Patriots coach for people just to realize that it's not going to work? Devontae Adams, New England
Raiders, baby.
That's literally what it's a joke,
Patriots
but it's also not. Like, and I guess Devontae
every
Adams
coach has done this though.
Everyone, and he said that they don't.
Matt Patricia took all Danny Amendola and a bunch of players to
Bill O'Brien
Flowers.
tried to build it over there in Houston.
Eric Mangini traded for Ty Law and all these other people. Like fucking, it's a gimme. They want the Patriot way, but they can't have it because Bill is the Patriot way.
That's just it. And people talk about the Patriot way, and it's like it's not like you can.
It's not about the players.
No, it's about the whole thing. And God, like it's literally the Patriot way because you can instill the same rules, the same philosophies, but you're not Bill Belichick. You're not Robert Kraft coming in, on a random Wednesday practice or something, being like, "What's up, guy?" Like you're not Foxborough. You're not you aren't the Patriots. It's not going to
be your own coach. Don't be Bill Belichick because it's not going to work.
That's it. Everybody tries it. And now when you have your top receiver, Devontae Adams, being like, yeah, what I want and what the front office wants, not really what I thought we were doing, which I mean, obviously when they got rid of Derek Carr, his like best buddy, the reason he came to Vegas, that was a red flag. And now you probably have all these things he's trying to do. And like, you can picture it. And like, obviously we don't know for sure, but you can just imagine McDaniel's trying to run some pseudo Patriots type thing, not like exact offense, but just like how he talks, things like that. And the players there are probably like, fuck are you talking about, dude? Like what do you do? Especially the Derek Carr thing is a big thing. Cause I think everybody kind of took that and they were like, oh, McDaniel's first move basically is to get rid of a quarterback that we all like. Right. That we all like. This is where it's like, you cannot do the Patriot way. You are not Bill Belichick. You can't make these moves. And
but wait, we were just talking about Josh McDaniels. I thought we were talking about the Patriots in general.
We are,
right?
We are.
We're just talking about the Patriots in general, right?
Aren't they all the same thing? Josh McDaniels.
Okay. I just wanted to check. Carry on. Just carry on. Just wanted to check.
it's just it. I
I'm
don't know.
speaking about Patriots coaches as a whole because they all do the same thing. They're all trying to be Bill Belichick, but that's just fucking not how this works.
Truth.
No, you can't.
Like-
You can't make these big changes or big decisions and expect everybody on the team to be like, oh well, we'll go along with it, because again, you don't have that cachet. You don't have, regardless of how curmudgeon-y you think he is, the players obviously like Belichick. So you can't go somewhere else and try to make the same types of moves, especially with diva wide receivers. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but when you have Devontae Adams, like you can't do that. You have to kind of be not a player coach, but you have to bring them into the decision making, because if you just get rid of the starting quarterback and you bring in Jimmy G, who doesn't have a good supposedly doesn't have a great reputation around the league as really giving his all 100%. He's injured. Like, I think, what was it when he got hurt? Who was it? Was it Edelman who was talking about Jimmy G when it was like how he got hurt? And he was like, oh, well, he didn't really come back. So like, players talk, man. Like, I like Jimmy G, but it's just obviously like you get rid of a fan favorite, a player favorite, and you bring in this pretty boy guy you had in New England. And it's like, so what are you trying to do? You bring in, basically everybody else from New England too. And it's like, you bring in the backup quarterback from New England. Like, what are you trying to do, Josh?
I mean,
what are you trying to do?
We're wasting so much time on this. Like, we don't even need to talk about this much. It's just stupid. Like, I think this is more stupid than the Tom Brady stuff. And I'm not even like trying to troll. Like, I think it's that much more stupid and honestly kind of more funny.
Yeah,
it really is a lot funnier.
That's the thing, because it's inept. It's like it didn't work for any other coach, and it didn't work for Josh McDaniels in Denver. Not that he took a bunch of Patriots players then, but whatever structure he's trying to run, it clearly just doesn't work. I would imagine he walks in there with a pretty big ego, saying, "I won 3 Super Bowls with the Patriots as the offensive coordinator," and they look at him and go, well, Bill Belichick's the greatest head coach, and you had the greatest quarterback of all time. Your job was probably pretty fucking easy. Any play you called, if Tom Brady didn't like it, change that bitch, and it worked.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah. So I just always think it's funny, just when people try to leave New England and try to be this next big thing, whether it's players, coaches, anyone. It's always humorous to me. Like JC Jackson, going to be a revenge game. Let's see if you see the field. Let's see if you see the field, my friend.
Yep.
So. I don't know. But did you guys have anything else that you wanted to bring up? Any other interventions you wanted to throw at anybody before we get out of here?
Nah, I'm all
Covers
good.
the bases.
Good to go. Okay. So if you are listening to this when it comes out, which will be Wednesday, the Celtics are playing tonight. Liam's second favorite team. So
no, tomorrow.
Obviously, if you listen to it when it comes out,
yes, when it comes out,
which is tonight. I'm talking in the future.
I didn't know how dedicated you were.
I'm very just as dedicated as you are to the Eagles. That's how dedicated I am.
Ouch.
God, you know what? It is a good thing that you are not like a Flyers fan, because like you can't be a Bruins fan. You can't like Boston.
No, I'm not a Flyers fan. I'm a Jaromir Jagr fan. There's a difference.
Oh, that's fine. Everybody loves Jagr. Yeah, I mean he played on the Bruins. It's just, he
played on every team though. That's not fair.
Yeah,
I could also be a Dallas Stars fan.
Even people who hate him, like in their moments of truth, they're like, yeah, but I do still kind of like him. He's cool.
I mean, he's still playing. Guy's an animal.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. So, all right, this was episode 82, the Josh
Algae
Boyce
Crumpler.
episode, Algae Crumpler, Daniel Graham episode of Tuck Rule Takes. We'll see you next week. Episode 83. That's a good one. Got a couple players for that. Hopefully the Patriots give us something to talk about, or else, because I have no problem sitting here for 45 minutes and complaining about Tom Brady. Do not make me do it. But other than that, guys, I'm out. Tuck Rule Takes 82. We out.